Welcome back to the Auction Car Reconditioning channel. I am Brian. We're working on the Honda Odyssey today, and listen, there's a lot of videos, and I mean tons of videos that show how to restore oxidized headlights where the factory layer that protects this lens from UVA and UVB damage, how to clear the lens up and then protect it. I'm going to do a video today to show how to prevent the lens from failing in the first place, oxidizing, getting cloudy, and then failing your inspection procedure. Also, dangerous at nighttime. Let's get started. Normally, everything that I pick up, the headlights need to be restored. They're always cloudy, always oxidized, always damaged by the sun's harmful rays. And this is one of the few kind of exception. These lenses are in okay shape. At the top here, there's just a little bit of oxidation starting. I'm going to show you what we do about that, but the rest of the headlight can be prepped for protection, and I'll show you what I use to prevent having a problem or issues with the lenses of these headlights for as long as I own it anyways. At the top here, we're getting a little bit of cloudiness. I'll show you how to take care of all that. We'll protect them, and I don't have to worry about that. This is something I picked up to haul the shop manager around. Twice a year, she has what I call a blowout, where she loses her second coat. She's a double-coated dog made for the mountains of the Swiss Alps. So she's bred for cold weather environments. During those blowouts, there's a 2-week period where I could comb her and get a volleyball, yeah, we're talking about you. We can get a volleyball-sized ball of hair from that little thing until that shedding season ends. And she's not going to be jumping in any of my other nicer vehicles in that condition, so I bought this. It's also lower to the ground as she's getting older, and I have to watch out for the health of her hips and her joints. With a van, that door slides open, she just jumps right in. So this was a great pickup for a great price. There's a dedicated video on that. But today we're just going to concentrate on the headlights, and I want to keep them nice and clear and protected. Let's get started. First, we'll pop the hood. We'll get rid of all of the edges that are bumping up against the headlight when possible. And most of the time, it's only going to be the hood that you can get up out of the way. And then the rest we'll have to protect with a little bit of masking tape. And that will save the seals, trim, or even the paint and chrome trim here from getting damaged, maybe from a backing plate, from a sander, polisher, or maybe a pad. Okay, so we already have 2 areas here on both sides where we don't have to worry about taping, and we can come all the way up here with our protectant that we're going to use for headlights to block UVA and UVB. For the remaining sides, of the panels and trim and such that are pretty much right up against the headlight, I'm going to use some masking tape. And you really don't have to go crazy taping like you're painting the darn thing. Just get close enough that you could protect the surrounding panels, especially if you're going to be doing any type of wet sanding. Not perfect, but good enough. Do that on both sides. Now, with that finished, I did show like right up here, the first 1.5 inches, the top of the headlight that is actually facing up towards the sun has just a little bit of oxidation in areas on both headlights. And I'm going to nip that off with 2000 grit just right here where it needs it, and then 3000 grit, and then the whole headlight will be ready for the next step at that point. I like to wet sand, and those that are fans of the channel and are regulars know exactly why. The wet sanding contains any dust that could get airborne because we need these bays to be extra clean for paint protection film. You can have these, you could use either sheets or discs. This is a sheet. This one here is a 2000 grit sheet. So you can sheets, and you can also use discs. And the discs either come as a disc or they come as a sheet, and you just kind of trace whatever palm Velcro or hook and loop tool that you had to hold on to them. Just trace it and cut it crudely here. Cut it to fit. So let's just use a sheet with a 2000 grit to nip the top of this headlight and just clean off that oxidation, that little bit of oxidation. And I'm not sure if you can see it running down, but you can already see the oxidation being quickly shaved. And you can see it right there. So it's already gone. From here, we'll rinse away that garbage portion of the factory coating and switch to our 3000 grit. In that area, we can make a little bit larger in an attempt to blend things in better. That also steps down with the sand marks to 3000, which is easy to polish out from there. And it won't take long. Rinse that away, then grab a towel of your choice, wipe away the remaining garbage, and you are now ready for the next step. Just like when you exfoliate dead skin cells from your hands or your arm or wherever, we kind of did the same thing up here. And we want to continue to do that with the rest of the headlight. And while in the same sweep, remove the sand marks. So for that, I'm going to use a 3-inch polisher with a foam waffle pad here. This happens to be the EB 351 3.5-inch polisher. It is a battery-operated ShineMate polisher. This is a great tool. And we team that up with the 3D AAT 501. AA is the adaptive abrasive technology, and it does a great job. Right out of the gate, the first pass or two, it does excellent cutting. The abrasive then adapts and rolls over, rolls out, breaks down, and the passes after the first two, so your third and fourth pass, you're getting a finishing process to the surface, if that makes sense. That's what makes this great. Not like the 3D ACA 500, where it's kind of aggressive all the way through the correction process. This breaks down, you get great cut and a decent finish. Shake up the rich formula. It's a nice, thick, rich formula. Get some on our pad. And we're going to polish this headlight. So you can consider this more prep for protection than a full restoration of a failed cloudy headlight. There is also some minor pitting from stone chips flying up against the headlight, and the protection that I choose to guard this headlight for the future will also protect the headlight from rock chips, and that's going to give you a huge hint as to what I'm going to use. So this looks great. The sand marks are gone. It's nice and clear now. And we can now move on to the next step of the process. For the next step, we'll remove the masking tape now. We're finished with that. No need from here going forward to protect any surrounding areas. So let's get rid of this. You know how nasty masking tape can get when it gets wet. And it's now wet, so it's time to get rid of it. And we're going to bring in our panel prep of choice, whatever you use. I love the Peleus from Phoenix Seed OD. My second favorite would be the Geon Prep. And we're going to get rid of any polishing oils. We just polished it. Now we want to get rid of polish oils from the surface. And make sure that it's completely dry and clean. And now we can get on to the next step. The next step is the actual protection of choice for these headlights to keep them nice and crystal clear as long as I have it for years and years. There are some that have doubts out there that the film will keep these headlights crystal clear. Listen, those that know me know I don't like to do things twice. So this is going to get protected and I don't have to worry about it again. And paint protection film, I get mine from Legend. I'm certified, so I can order from the site. But I will put a link down below. You can get it on Amazon. You can get rolls of 3M, like 12-inch by 20 or 50, and have enough for a bunch of different headlights. And you could do this yourself. This is not complicated. If I could do it, you could do it. We're just putting film on headlights. Now, some of these headlights do have intricate designs, and you may need relief cuts here and there. And I'll try and instruct, like if you have any questions, reach out to me. My email is so easy to find, and I'll guide you through the process. But we're going to use paint protection film to protect these headlights. And we have our slip solution and our tack solution right here, because we need both of those. And we also need a squeegee and the film itself, and that's it. Now, I'm often asked, what is a slip solution? And in that container over there, the slip solution contains water and about a teaspoon of 7th generation. Now, your dilution ratio is going to depend on the installer and also what the film manufacturer recommends. So you're going to have to find out that on your own. And it's not hard to find. Just whatever film you order or have, they will instruct you what to use. 7th generation is a dish liquid. I found mine at Target, and you can get it by, the 1.47 liter or 50-ounce container. And it is an excellent solution when this is mixed in with water. Some use Johnson & Johnson's. I got to tell you, Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo has a skin conditioner that we don't like in there. It leaves a little bit of a film behind. This stuff here is the stuff to use for film installations. So that'll answer that question there. And when it comes to a tack solution, that's the solution over here that we use to flush out our slip solution. So a slip solution is used to get the film on the panel and then adjust it without the adhesive grabbing on. Once you try to adjust film where the adhesive has grabbed, you're going to distort the film and there are going to be marks under there. So this helps cut back on that. When you have found the sweet spot for your film to sit and then you can squeegee out all of the slip solution, you can use this to tack things down and help flush out the slip solution. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, reach out and I'll make it clear for you. I like to warm both of my solutions up. Warm solution coming in contact with the film softens up the film, softens up the adhesive, makes it a little bit more manageable and pliable and easy to stretch into place. We get some, oh boy. We get some tack solution on the light, and then we peel the backing. Your film is going to come with a backing, and some are capped with a cap sheet to protect the film during shipping. You also, as you take the backing off, want to spray the film on the adhesive side. And what this does, guys, if the film accidentally folds onto itself, the adhesive kind of helps, or the slip solution helps it to untangle itself without wasting film. So we've done that. Now we can flip it over, get it into place. Okay, all right, pull the wrinkles out where we can. Now we want to find an area to tack the film to the light itself. A lot of times if there's flat panels on either side here or here, I like to tack it in those areas and then do my stretch. But there's trim and it's all kinds of odd shapes, so I'm going to actually tack it to the light itself and then stretch over. Hope that makes sense. Now we spray the warm slip solution onto the film, and what this does is, again, the warmth relaxes the film, but it also gets it ready for the next part. When we're squeegeeing, we don't want, now I clean these, but we don't want the squeegees to scratch the film already, and the slip solution on the outside helps with that. So I'm going to tack here. So what I do is pick out the film, flush the slip solution with the tack, fold it back over, and by squeegeeing, we're making the film's adhesive grab onto the headlight cover, and it's going to have a nice grip. And we're folding the film over the edges, tucking it in there, getting the film to protect the headlight as far as we can go with it. Now we have this, and because of the shape of the headlight, it naturally causes fingers in the film, and they have to be stretched out. So this is done simply by pulling the film away, getting your tack solution over here, so when we lay it back down and squeegee it, it stays, and then squeegee the rest of the lens, just like this. And then I am pulling the rest of the slip solution, pulling that out towards me, pushing it out towards the bottom of the headlight, just like so. And coming all the way over here to the corner. And at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that the film is making contact with the lens. And it is. All right, so let me grab you guys and bring you guys in closer. Oh, by pulling it and stretching it, sometimes it lifts other areas. You need to be aware of that. No big deal. And if you're having problems with it tacking in those areas, just flush out the slip solution. And at that point, it will stay pretty well for you. Sometimes there are areas with difficult shapes, intricate shapes and designs of panels and lights, where it just takes a little bit more time. If you get an air bubble caught in there, like I did, you can lift the film back up, squeegee that out of there. You don't want to leave those in. So it's attached to the whole lens and we have all of this excess. But we don't want to disturb it now, so what we do is we let it sit and dry out and cure for a couple hours, 2 hours, 4 hours. I'll go do something else. I'll go work on another car and come back in a couple hours, and I'll show you what to do next. So let's go take a break. Okay, some time has gone by. It's had time to dry out. I have both sides now at the exact same step, and I've done some other project and given this time to dry out a bit. So now we can't just leave it like this, obviously, but now we can do trimming where it won't shift. This film won't shift because it's dried out enough and the adhesive has taken good hold of the surface beneath. All right, for this step, I'm going to try not to cross in front of the camera and be rude and block your view, excuse me. But I need to concentrate on some of this and I have to be precise. This is a red dot knife found on Amazon, the best for paint protection film. The blades are the perfect angle. And when you cut film, you don't want to cut with the point digging into the film, going through and digging into the surface underneath it. You want to kind of hold it almost on a slight angle, maybe 10 or 15 degree angle. And you only want to slice through the film portion, not the adhesive portion, and that takes a little bit of practice. So you can pick up a test panel at a body shop, put some film over it, practice cutting without slicing into the paint underneath, and you'll get it. So we're going to pick an area here, decide where to start our cut, and that's going to be right here. And what I'm doing is, when I'm cutting, I'm listening for what would sound like a mouse squeaking. And then we know that the film is not penetrating completely through the film. It's just scoring the top of the film where you can rip the rest free. Okay. I can just faintly hear it. I'm trying to get it to squeak for you so you know what that sounds like, but it's not the easiest to do when the film is still a little bit wet. Okay, so we have here. We want to continue on. Up to here. All right, now we just carefully pull the scored film away from the film we want to stick to. See that? If it was completely cut all the way through, this would just pull away. But you have to pull the film away and sort of almost tear the rest of it all the way through. And that's what you're looking to do. I leave a little bit up top here because we can actually roll this up over top. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to go over it with the squeegee and make sure those edges are locked tight all the way around the lens, if that makes sense. Make sure there's no moisture that's sneaking in there. This looks good. So let's roll this up over. Lock that in there, and we're done. We are finished. That lens is cleaned, it's protected. Now I'm just going to come over here and do the exact same thing with the driver's side headlight. A little bit of cleanup time as some of the residue when we were wet sanding ran down, and also the residue from the slip solution. So I'll just use a rinseless wash and then dry the area. That won't take long at all. Job's done. Crystal clear, and they will stay that way for as long as I have it. That's going to do it for this video. Simple as it looks. Believe me, I do get a lot down in the comment section that seem a little timid when it comes to paint protection film, but you're just doing headlights. And I know some of the shapes are complicated. If you do have a complicated shape, just reach out to me and I'll explain to you what relief cuts are and how to do that and make the film a little bit easier to work with. But if I can do it, if my guys here can do it, you guys can do it as well, and you won't have to worry about your headlights as long as you own the car. I guarantee it. One of the very few things that I would guarantee. This has been Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Put them down in the comment section. If the channel here helps you in any way, you get any cool tips, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, maybe sharing the video. If you share the content to groups and chats, the channel will grow, and with the channel growing, we can give you better content, better quality content, and even more content. This has been Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.